Well, now that Hoosiers are getting the COVID-19 vaccine, things feel like they're getting perhaps back to a level of normalcy. Air travelers are slowly but surely starting to take to the skies again. In Indianapolis, thanks in large part to March Madness and spring break, the outlook for tourism and the convention business starting to take a positive turn as well. In Indiana restaurants, the ones that survived the pandemic, seeing more foodies take a seat at the table. For perspective on some of these issues and the impact on the Indiana economy, pleased to welcome this week a panel of insiders. From Visit Indy, Senior Vice President Chris Gall, also former state lawmaker Christina Hale, and Mike Hicks, the Director of the Center for Business and Economic Research at Ball State, and welcome one and all.
Good to be with you.
Thank you. Great to be here.
Okay, I have to start with March Madness and reaction. Chris, I'll start with you. You were certainly at ground zero, very much involved and on the front lines of that effort. Talk about what you feel the impact is and will be from Indianapolis largely, West Lafayette and Bloomington too, but Indianapolis, Central Indiana pulling off really a Herculean effort.
Well, it's a sense of pride, Gary. Yet we don't know the exact economic benefit of hosting March Madness in its entirety. We plan to employ alongside our point guard, the Indiana Sports Corporation, Rockport Analytics, to study the X's and O's and just how healthy the 9 figures of economic impact was derived from March alone. We do know that our hotels enjoyed a bump. Year to date, our downtown hotels are ranking 7th in the nation, for revenue per available room. So we know that people are coming. We know that March Madness moved the needle. We have at least one convention that's signed on the dotted line because of being in Indianapolis amidst the pandemic, amidst March Madness. That's a convention that'll take place in 2025. And we have a few others we hosted during March that are moving closer to signing. And so it did have an impact. The last thing I'll mention about the branding, if you will, the boost coming into our heightened travel season of spring, we enjoyed more than 4,200 news stories nationally, internationally, about Indianapolis hosting the pandemic. So that's hosting March Madness. That was a big boost to our brand.
Yeah, and along those lines, because I felt that was incredible, seemed to be all, mostly anyway, positive stories about that. Christina, as you look at the coverage and the attention that Indianapolis got as a host city, as a sports capital, all the various stories that were done on a national level, that ultimately you would think may have some impact as well.
Oh, it'll have lasting impact over time. This just builds on our success hosting the Super Bowl several years ago. And in the deeper past, the Pan Am Games, the world knows that Indianapolis can pull off major world-class events in dire circumstances with complicated moving parts. In the best of times, we're a fun place, but we can also handle the really heavy lift. And when we have all the balls in the air and just shine, and the world saw it, it was reflected in those stories, but more importantly, not just in our brand, but in our reputation in a city that delivers.
Yeah, and you talk about a heavy lift. I totally agree that to pull that off and the complications and moving parts was truly, pretty amazing. Mike, March Madness, no doubt, giving Indianapolis, perhaps more broadly, the Central Indiana, a boost. How do you look at the Indiana economy? How do you see the Indiana economy coming out eventually, slowly but surely, out of the pandemic?
Sure. Well, I mean, the March Madness was an amazing story. Can't wait to see the study. I'm going to say $150 to $250 million impact, just because there was nothing else really going on. It was a really slow season, and wow, pulled off beautifully. Yeah, you don't need to be an economist to know things are coming back. You can drive around, go to restaurants in Central Indiana or elsewhere. That's really taken place. We get great numbers today on retail sales coming out of the downturn with the stimulus beginning to hit and people thinking about vacations and that sort of stuff. All that said, we're down 140,000, 150,000 jobs from the beginning of the recession. That puts us back to April, May of 2015 levels. And so it's going to take us a couple, 3 years to pull out the labor market effect of this, even if the other parts of it, the attendance, GDP, and income start zooming back quickly over the next several months. Yeah, some ground to make up indeed. Christina, as you look at the vaccine rollout here in Indiana, seems to largely be positive. Obviously, the Johnson & Johnson situation, not exclusive to Indiana, of course, but providing a little hiccup. So much of this, I think, will be dependent upon Hoosiers feeling confident to go back into stores
stores and retail outlets and restaurants and to fly again. How do you sense that is happening now with the rollout seemingly going, for the most part, pretty well? Do you think that later on in the year, folks are going to be comfortable going back to stadiums and being around other people?
I do think people are feeling a lot more comfortable. I live in Broad Ripple Village here in Indianapolis, and I'll tell you, the restaurants, particularly outside, are packed. Yep. People are ready for some fun. They're ready to get on planes. I mean, I'm ready. I'm vaccinated now. And, you know, during the pandemic, my son developed a serious girlfriend out in Los Angeles. You better believe this mom wants to get on a plane to go check out that situation. But, you know, so many of us miss people. We miss life, our friends. And that we'll see reflected in the hospitality industry. But I also just want to underscore what you said about this process going very smoothly for the most part in Indiana. And I also think that we pivoted with the Johnson & Johnson, you know, kind of immediate hiccup very smoothly as well. Everybody who really wants to be vaccinated now can be. That's a very big deal that can't be discounted.
Yeah, absolutely. And I've got my 2 vaccines, so I'm good to go. Chris, as you're looking at the remainder of the year in the hospitality, the tourism sector, so important to Indiana, in particular Central Indiana, what's your gut feel at this point as to if we'll be back to closer to full go later this year?
Well, the convention, it's a great question. On the convention side, I'm here inside the Indiana Convention Center, and there are 2 groups, each 4,000 apiece, that are rolling up and moving out of the facility. So even after March Madness, we have groups with health plans convening. We still have about 220 conventions holding course, and we'll convene here in Indianapolis through the remainder of the year. Usually we have about 500, and so that's a point of perspective. We know that June is really a go, no-go date as we talk to event organizers who are slated to convene. That's the murky month right now on whether they can build a density of people to pull off a trade show. On the leisure side, when we look at all the research that we get in, consumers are hungry, just like Christina. They want to travel, they want to see loved ones, and we believe that visiting friends and family, in other words, local residents inviting their family and friends to come see them, will open the gates here and be the first out to come travel. So consumer confidence building, and most likely traveling via car, not plane, in the short term.
Yeah, got to be very quick, Mike. 15 seconds. Thumbs up on coming out of the pandemic in Indiana in a positive light, ultimately?
Yeah, we're going to recover pretty much like the nation will be. Central Indiana a good bit faster just because of the composition of that economy. Yep. And it's really going to take a couple of years, though, to fully get back.
All right. Great perspectives from the Insiders panel. Chris Gull, Christina Hale, Mike Hicks. Thank you all, and I'll be right back after this.